Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. Today is the fourth video in my spending the afternoon with you in the greenhouse video series, and we are still working with orchids. So much to do with orchids all the time. It's just a shame most of it goes unrecorded because there just simply isn't time. But today I want to talk about rescue orchids. I picked up a few this summer and I find them fun sometimes. I don't know, I like my nice big pristine orchids, but I like bringing orchids back as well if they're not too far gone. There's a point where they can just be too far gone to bring back, that's for sure. But what I have in my hand here is some sort of epidendrum. I'm not sure what kind. It's fairly small, and I just repotted it just the other day because I noticed it was getting some new roots coming out here. And I did mainly a moss mixture because it looked really dry. And if you've watched my other videos today, you know that I'm sort of focusing a little bit more on my mosses again. I'm getting back to my mosses, back to my roots. No pun intended there. Back to my roots where most of my stuff is planted mainly in moss. Because, yeah, I tried bark for many years and I did fairly well with it, but just found it was really high maintenance. So I can water less and have the same sort of results, or better results. But anyways, that is one of them. Here's another one. This one I didn't do anything with. It's still in the bark that it came with. So I have no idea what it is. Some sort of Oncidium type. To me it looks almost like Brassa maybe. It has flowered, and not on this one, but right here there's a flower spike that's cut. When I got it, it had no roots. So you can see some roots starting to escape everywhere. They're actually coming back out of the bark because, I don't know, bark doesn't hold tons of moisture, and I don't water very often. If you've seen my second video of the day with the Thursiflorum, the dendrobium, that was in bark, it's pretty shriveled. At least this one has some roots to take in water to start with, where the other one didn't have any roots. So but yeah, it's a good sign that they're coming out the back end there. And you can always tell, and I've said this a couple times today, you can always tell which way they're facing because the roots grow away from the sun. So this guy has basically been in here, and even this root is like heading that way. All the roots are heading this way because the sun was, you know, where you are, and the roots are growing towards me. So anyways, that's not the one I want to talk to you about today either, though, or work with you on. It's this little guy here. I don't know why, but I have extreme pity for this guy here. He is beaten up. This is still the original pot, so we're going to unpot this guy today and see what he's growing in. Things I have done to him so far is only put some dolomite lime on the surface here of whatever this is. It looks like it could be peat moss or rotten bark or whatever, but I was scared it was going to be really acidic, so I wanted to put something on there to balance that out. It has had spikes before. The spikes seem really short for an Oncidium, at least a healthy one. It has some tiny new growths coming. One that was eaten by insects before I got it, and these two as well. But these ones are getting some new roots coming out down there. So I want to work on this quickly. It gets to a point where these things aren't very easy to work on if you don't, if the roots are too big. So anyways, look at this. Even there's like a broken pseudobulb, like it's busted. It busted so clean, it looks like somebody took a bite out of it and just like ate the other half of the pseudobulb. Luckily, whatever did that, it was a sterile situation because it didn't rot. It just kind of healed up broken. It's still plump and everything underneath. But yeah, I thought we'll unpot this guy, see what kind of media this is, see what it's in, and repot it up, probably just in the same pot here. So why don't we come down and look at it together. Alright, so let's look at this in sort of first person view here and see what we can do to clean this up. Now, I have some sterilized scissors just off to the side, so I'm grabbing those. I sterilize everything in rubbing alcohol. I'm going to start by cutting off the spikes because they're just going to get in my way. And they don't need to really be here anymore because they're very much gone. Now, there's a bunch of ripped leaves on this plant. And honestly, they look unsightly. They look like they're literally been ripped off, just like this bulb looks like it's just been like ripped off. But they're healed and they're not infected or anything like that. So I think I'm going to leave them. Even this yellowing one. This isn't continuing. This isn't anything that's progressing. There's no reason to take off this tattered leaf here. So I'm going to leave that, and maybe it'll just be, I'll leave it with the spikes cut off for now and see what this thing looks like inside. We'll try to do this really quick. So it does look like it's some sort of just peat moss, or maybe it's coconut fiber. You know what it is? It's not coconut husk, but it's that coconut fiber stuff. It's kind of fluffy and weird, and perlite in it. And what it looks like they did was took the plant in whatever it was, thought they were helping it, and just stuck the whole core in and around this coconut husk. So it has moss inside it. Yeah, and the roots are, I'm trying to distinguish whether they're dead. They're not severely dead if they're dead. I'm actually surprised at how good this thing actually looks in there. Look at that. Woohoo. So, that makes me a little bit happier. I had no idea what was going to be in this soil. I really thought it was just going to be whatever that coconut fiber was. I thought it was peat moss in there at first. So I wasn't expecting very good results at all. But anyways, happy with that. It's really hard to get all this stuff out. Now I did find this person, I think, made a mistake by just trying to shove the whole bunch of media that's already going rotten a little bit. It's already disintegrating, going acidic. I think they made a mistake by just plopping it in a new pot. That's definitely not what you want to do. It does seem like the easy way, and what I'm doing does seem like it's kind of, we'll say tedious or scary because you think you're going to hurt it. But I do find just plopping it into the pot eventually ends up hurting it more than if you get all this old media out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over to the sink and really give this guy a good cleaning. Because although there's good roots on this side, the roots I've decided aren't very good. They're hollow, they're dead. They're recently dead. And there's some new roots growing down into it. So we want to be kind of careful there. You can see the new roots coming down into the media. So I think what happened was probably this media was starting to get sour. They decided to do a repot, used this mixture here, which I'm unfamiliar with really, and just stuck the whole old moss and everything into the media. At the time, I bet you this had really nice roots, and they were too scared of working with the roots and ended up just killing them in the acidic media. Now what might have helped with the new root growth, because it had no new root growth to start with that I could see, maybe the dolomite lime counterbalanced or counteracted the acidic moss that it was growing into and made it a little bit more hospitable. So let's take this to the sink real quick. Hopefully we can see. Put that guy down and try to fix it so you guys can see here. Alright, hopefully that's okay. I got my hose. It's going to be a little bit loud. I work on the jet setting. And I give it a good clean off. Get all that old sour media out. It's not doing them any good. Now, I will say if you're picking out the old media, you're going to be hurting the roots. It seems like this method, and I've only been doing this for about a year, this method seems to be really good at cleaning out all the old crap. The stuff I was always scared to get out before just comes right out. You don't like the way something looks in there, you just kind of give it a blast and clean it out. This bulb is no longer with us, it's just dead. So we'll take that off. That bulb is the same. These bulbs are squishy. So we're going to remove those. And we'll be left with this. But you can already see, now we've cleaned out all the old media. Most of the old media. And it's looking like it'll be ready to be repotted. So, there we go. So I removed some of the old roots. You can tell an old root because they basically slip off and just what's left is this like string in the middle. Excuse my technical term there, but see there's another one that just came off and the string was left in the middle of it. A normal root that's healthy, you can't do that with. So anyways, let's take it back over to our table. So this is going in real time here. So we have so far on my clock, other than the introduction, spent about 5 minutes of actual work repotting this guy. And yeah, he's going along quite well. Get rid of that, get rid of that. I'm going to move this down for now. That was probably really loud on the mic. And I already have my mix ready. So it's mainly moss. It has a bit of perlite and a bit of small bark in it. I'm just going to reuse the same pot here. So I'm just going to give it a quick spray out. I have no reason to think I need to sterilize that pot. And let's see, I have been working on this move since I was doing all my repotting last year. So I like to just fill it up there, so the big hole that needed to be filled. Now all the roots are kind of laying out flat there. And I'm just going to continue to sort of put the media on this, like so. Get it all mixed in. This moss isn't completely dry, but it's not wet either. And then we are just going to snugly put it in there, like so. Now I want this tight enough that it's not going to wiggle around, but I want it loose enough that the roots are going to be able to breathe. I don't want to pack this down. So we'll put a little bit more on top there, because when I water it, it is going to go down a bit, but I'm not going to be the one to pack it. And if we look at this, I should be able to hold this up now, and you can see it's not going anywhere, and it's only going to get slightly tighter as I water it and stuff like that. But the fact that it's not going anywhere to start with shows me that that's going to be nice and tight for it, but not too tight. Super easy to poke your finger in still. It's a nice loose mix. I didn't do any kind of compacting really at all. Now what I'll probably do with it, I'll put a tag in it just to say when I repotted it, but I can't label it. Maybe when it blooms I can label it, maybe not. Otherwise, yeah, I just definitely want to put that tag in though to remind me when I did repot it, and that reminds me I have to do the same with this one because I said I repotted it the other day. But yeah, I'm going to give it a drink of water at the sink, put a tag in it, and now the waiting game begins. I'm going to put a little bit more dolomite lime in it, just to make sure that it gets a little source of calcium and it keeps the moss from going too acidic, because I plan on it being in that pot for the next 2 years. So anyways, I hope you like this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching.